If you want to lead a healthy, thriving church in the future, an inefficient staff structure presents a significant challenge. After all, your team is the most valuable asset you have to move your vision forward. That's why a high-capacity team, combined with the right roles that are aligned to your ministry strategies, is key to a healthy, growing ministry. As we always say, you are perfectly structured to get the results you're getting today. And if you don't like the results you're getting, it might be time for a change. That's why today we'll be walking through the 4 steps you need to take to restructure your staff for future growth. But before we get into the video, please take a minute to hit the subscribe button below. Our goal is to help pastors grow healthy churches by guiding them through experiences to align vision, strategy, team, and action. We're here to help you get your church unstuck, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video. The first step to restructuring your church staff is to assess your current team health and performance. Just feeling like something is off on your team is a good first step, but you need to be able to clearly identify and name the dysfunction or unhealth before you begin to fix it. We recommend 2 assessments. The first is an individual strengths assessment. As a leader, it's your responsibility to identify and steward every strength that your team possesses. You may have required some type of personality or strengths assessment during each staff hiring, but it's important to revisit this area regularly. We recommend leading from your strengths, which showcases everyone's natural strengths and tendencies, and it also is helpful for team members to identify who may be acting in a role that's outside their natural giftings. The second assessment is a team health assessment, and we recommend our Unstuck Teams assessment, which provides a self-assessed aggregate perspective on your staff's personal health, team health, personal performance, team performance, organizational systems, and organizational culture. The second step is to clarify decision rights. Lack of clarity around decision-making frustrates leaders, slows progress in critical areas, and can cause an undercurrent of strain between teammates. There's 7 ways to make a decision based on how much time you have to make the decision and how much buy-in you need on that decision. The 7 decision rights are leader decides, next is leader decides with input, the third is having a subgroup decide it, or a subgroup deciding with input, majority vote, consensus, and alignment. Now, different types of decisions warrant different types of decision rights. By thinking through what level of buy-in is needed and how much time you have to make a decision, you can identify the proper course of action for each decision. Bringing clarity in advance to who's making the decision is freeing because everyone knows their role. They know if they're providing input, if they have a vote, or if they're not involved in that decision. After determining who the leaders are within your team and who owns what, your next step is to evaluate your team for leadership capacity and potential. In other words, how many people do you think these leaders are equipped to lead? In Exodus 18, we see the concept of leaders of tens, 50s, hundreds, and thousands. These people are all team builders, but the difference lies in the number of people and teams they can build well. All leaders need mentorship to discover their capacity and grow to new levels. People who start out leading tens, they may have the capacity to become a leader of 50s, or they may not. People who lead hundreds may well be great again at leading thousands, but then again, they may not. It takes leaders who have walked this pathway investing in their teams to help them find out. Once leadership capacity has been evaluated, it's time to ask, does every person on our team have the leadership capacity needed for their current role? And what about the future? Leadership capacity isn't the only factor at play in a good staffing fit. There's also personal character, team chemistry, and culture that are important to address. Now that you've assessed your team's current health and performance, clarified decision rights, and assessed current and future leadership capacity, it's time to work on adjusting your structure to fit your vision. This includes creating a new organizational chart with suggested implementation phases and outlines on how to organize the work, as well as plans for how your structure will adapt in the future as your church is growing. Once complete, you want to review the first drafts of your revised structure with your senior leadership team, and then dig deeper into specific roles, processes, who will be effective, look for gaps, and identify a potential schedule for rolling out changes in the various phases. In most cases, churches develop their structure through a piecemeal approach over time. It's very rare that we see churches who have thoughtfully assessed their strategies to identify their structure needed to accomplish their vision. However, again, your structure could be the biggest barrier to your church's continued health and growth. That's why your structure should be developed intentionally, not accidentally. If this seems overwhelming, an outside perspective can help. Our experienced ministry consultants at the Unstuck Group have helped hundreds of churches overcome the complexities of church staffing to find greater health and growth on the other side. To learn more, you can visit us at theunstuckgroup.com. And by the way, if you found this video helpful and would like to see more like this in the future, make sure to hit the subscribe button below.